And if you guys noticed, before the event began, before we really got started with this section of the event tonight, there was a video reel that was rolling through, and there were photos of hurricanes that had come through the area and the oil spill that happened most recently. And so that piece shattered. Our state was shattered, wasn't it? But just like that piece right there where she came back together, put her pieces back together, we can do the same thing if we work together. With that being said, there's a group of students here that are members of UL Americorps, and I'd like to ask them to come to the stage for a minute if they can. And I was an Americorps member back when I was in UL, and I know that the work that you know, the students do in Americorps, I know firsthand, you're literally putting the pieces back together for the needs in the community. And so I wanted these guys to come and share because they have witnessed a lot of these recent tragedies that we've gone through, and I wanted to get them to come up here and share their experiences with you. Come on up, guys. Okay, we're actually going to move that mic so you guys can use it. So first thing, go ahead and tell everyone what your names are.
My name is Nick.
Lauren. Anna.
Katie.
And they are our 4 representatives of UL Americorps. So first question, guys, can you tell everyone what Americorps actually is?
Well, Americorps is actually a community service organization. This particular chapter is affiliated directly through UL, but there's actually a chapter that's a national chapter that travels across the United States. One of the things that most people probably can figure what Americorps is, like if you think of the Peace Corps, we are the exact same thing, except we're more domestically based. Our particular program, based through UL, deals with the Lafayette area and most of the Acadiana area with the needs that they need for their community. Some of the things that we particularly focus on is an educational aspect where we tutor children at Alice Boucher in school and after school. There's a housing aspect, and we do wheelchair ramps and minor house renovations through Habitat for Humanity and Rebuilding Together. And then there's a large amount of training and different service aspects that we do throughout the community based on needs assessments that we particularly do and our program directors do.
Very cool. Okay, so the next question, I want each of these guys to share with you an experience that they've had. There is nothing like hearing the raw experience that they've had. So each of you, if you could, real quickly, share an experience that you had that touched your heart.
Okay. First thing that comes to mind is whenever we went to New Orleans to the 9th Ward and we helped out with a Christmas party at a community center, and Santa was missing. They had no Santa, so one of our Americorps members was like, hey, I'll be Santa. So we went to Walmart, we got some maroon sweats and cut some felt and made a Santa, and his stomach was all uneven and his beard was made of cotton, and it would be coming like down as the kids would come, and me as the elf would be like, oh, Santa, you know, and I would put his beard back together. And just handing that present to a kid that I know that that's their only present was just, I mean, you can't describe that feeling that you get of handing them something that they well deserve, but they can't get it otherwise for certain circumstances.
Particularly for me, I did a lot of tutoring through Alice Boucher, but it's not necessarily one particular aspect that affected me, but it was the overall growth in seeing some child that might not necessarily particularly ask you for help, but you taking the initiative and stepping into that child's life and showing them that the world is not what you, like the area that you're in is not what the world actually is. Seeing them, giving them inspiration, and then just one of the things that just gasses me is that whenever I tell them that I'm a student too, they're like, you're in school too? You take classes just like we do? And I was like, yes. Like once you get to college, you can actually start to dream and envision those goals that you kind of see yourself as whenever you're younger. And it really impacts me when just seeing the children wanting to have those goals and admiring that they can possibly make it to where we are.
Cool. A big part of the reason why I'm back for a third year in the program is because of this event we do in the spring. It's called we call it the Prom Dress Drive. It's now known as Cinderella Project of Lafayette. It's where we collect new and gently used prom dresses, and we give them to girls who would otherwise, they wouldn't be able to go to their prom. And this past year, it was a huge event. We became the Cinderella Project of Lafayette, and we had accessories, we had shoes, we had a representative from Mary Kay come in and do makeovers for the girls, and we had amazing door prizes. Yeah, we had alterations on site. It was just, that's my favorite thing that we do, hands down. You get to see tons of girls come in with nothing and leave with a night that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. It's amazing.
I was fortunate in that I got to do a 900-hour commitment last year, and so I got to be involved at Alice Boucher, which is the elementary school you've heard them talk about, and also with Habitat for Humanity, and also with our Ramps and Rails program, which is Rebuilding Together of Acadiana. And I'm torn between two things, so I'll briefly say one of the things I love most about being involved with Habitat for Humanity, and one of the things I tell people all the time, I help lead volunteer groups that come out on Saturdays. I help lead those, and one of the things I tell them is I encourage them to get involved with the homeowners, because they have to put in sweat equity hours, so they have to actually work on site. And you get to know them, and you get to hear their stories. You get to hear their struggles, the things that they've been through, and there's one in particular that just impacted me so greatly, and to be able to see her house from literally the slab being poured to raising the walls to putting up the drywall to painting to doing the towel racks. I mean, you name it, I was involved in every aspect of that house because, like I said, I was a 900-hour commitment member, so I got to work a good bit of hours every week. And then to be there on the day that they cut the ribbon and she got keys to her house and she unlocked the door for the first time, and to see her tear up, and we all just, waterworks, and, because this is a woman who has just been so strong and been through so much. And then probably the second most touching thing is I also helped the Ramps and Rails program quite a bit, and built, I think, 14 wheelchair ramps between the 2 semesters last year. And to see there were 2 times that there were women that had not been able to get in and out of their homes in their power chairs at all. And so they'd have to have people basically carry them up and down their steps. And to see, and I take pictures of everything, to see them get in their power chairs and ride down that ramp for the first time, and just their face just absolutely light up, to see them get their independence back. I mean, that's just an incredible thing. And that's all something any of you could come be a part of.
And she kind of started to answer the next question, which is the fact that all of you can get involved with this. And I hope that you will get in touch with Americorps. They are here. They have a sign-up sheet. I know it's outside, right? Could you bring it in for us? Yep. Okay. I'm going to actually ask them to go ahead and pass it around the audience as the poets are performing for the rest of the evening. And if any of you are interested in having that same experience that these guys have had, by all means do so. You don't have to be an Americorps member. You don't have to have 1 million hours to devote. Even 1 hour is amazing. And you can have the same experience. Thank you, guys.